First question is from Mr. Camel999, and the question is, any recommendations for a location tracking solution for a family, like Find My or Life360, that is privacy respecting and has clients for both iOS and Android? I searched myself for a solution, and the closest I got was an app called Zood Location, which is FOSS, but only has an Android client. So just curious for your guys' opinion on Apple Keychain and more broadly just best practices to have a more private Apple ecosystem. Thanks.
Okay, our next question comes from David Johnson, who says, what sources and strategies do you guys use or would consider for phone numbers, both permanent and disposable? It looks like currently the choices out there are much more limited compared to, say, email addresses or credit cards or VPN. Google Voice is probably the best known alternative, but some services that require a phone number won't accept a Google Voice number. Our next one comes from Mothman. I love that username, by the way. Also, you said you're a new patron. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Your question, are we familiar with any trustworthy private cellular providers or SIM available internationally? I use Signal for calls and messages, and I'm connected to a VPN as often as I can be. So I'm covered in all those regards, but I'd like to avoid location tracking through towers and so forth.
The next one is from Kixies, which is, I live outside the USA, but will be traveling there soon for tourism. I'm really concerned about getting my iPhone seized and searched. I think the chances are slim of this happening, but not outside the realm of possibility. What would you guys do or recommend in this situation? Thanks, and keep up the great podcast. Yeah, next question is from Frank, and it's, hey, it looks like I'll be renewing my TV and home entertainment system next year. I started browsing to see what the options are. I think I'm going to go with a screen and a soundbar. Looks like it's hard to find devices that don't have cameras and microphones for voice assistants. So I'm thinking about how to block their traffic. Do you have any advice on how best to do this in a practical way? I suspect allowing them on LAN will break some features, so I expect I will need to allow internet traffic.
Our next question, the person who asked this question has asked to remain anonymous, so we're going to redact their name, but they are curious to hear about our comments on mobile forensics tools such as Celebrite or Elcomsoft, which I have not heard of. And they say that it makes the iOS and Android security look like a joke.
And then Caption8169 asked about security for like banks and brokerage accounts, and we will probably get back to that in just one short. So we'll probably have 3 shorts this upcoming week before we come back next week for the next Surveillance Report 131.